Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go.
We are at the final day in the month of January 2022. Imagine that. Today marks the end of January already. It means there are 11 months to go in this year beyond today. Can you believe that? My goodness, we're taking it second by second. We're taking it minute by minute. We're taking it hour by hour, day by day, week by week, one by one. Good morning and welcome. This is Up and Go. We're going till 11 o'clock today. So, you'd have heard by now that the DPP has ruled that the government minister, Floyd Green, should not be charged for the No Movement Day party. Based on what she has put forward from her office at the Director of Public Prosecutions, there was a lack of, I don't know if she didn't say it this way, but I suspect a lack of cooperation in terms of the hotel employees who were not prepared to give statements. And I suspect maybe even guests that were there would have been difficult to have been targeted for statements as well. And without statements, they just have no legs to stand on. Are you surprised at this development? Many people are not surprised, actually. We thought there was always going to be a sort of a technical situation here, and it turned out just that way. Since his resignation and the embarrassment that went with that, Floyd Green has now been reinstated and is now back in the fold as a minister of government. And we haven't heard much from Andrew Bellamy, though. He is the councillor for the Mona Division. And we have not heard much from Andrew.
He also resigned.
Yeah, but no, I have heard no talk of his reinstatement. He has kind of gone very quiet in the last several months. Yeah, just kind of almost like disappeared.
Underground.
Yeah, underground is right. Yeah. So we don't know exactly what will happen with him. Right now, on the information tip, it's time for WTF, What the Fact. And I told you before, the bacteria in your gut can influence your mood. Now, I'm going to find this out along with many of my listeners, I'm sure, who might not have known this fact. Did you know that your gut can impact your mental health? You have an immense number of bacteria in your gut that are collectively referred to as your microbiome. This collection of bacteria can impact neural development, brain chemistry, emotional behaviors, pain perception, and stress. Your gut is sterile when you were born. We agree on that. But over time, your GI tract, as they refer to it, will develop a diverse colony of bacterial species which can be influenced by your genetics and the bacteria in the environment you live in. So your microbiome produces hundreds of neurochemicals that your brain uses to regulate learning, memory, and even your mood, we're being told. In fact, your microbiome produces approximately 95% of your body's serotonin, the critical hormone that stabilizes your mood, your feelings of well-being, and even your happiness. Serotonin also helps reduce depression, regulate anxiety, maintain bone health, and facilitate processes such as sleeping or eating and even digestion. And it's all possible thanks to your gut. Does it also follow that the size of your gut determines how much bacteria you have in it? In other words, well, we don't even have to emphasize. Well, let's just say that I have a big gut. You're telling me that I would likely have more bacteria? Oh gosh, that's quite a revelation. So what do we do if we have a big gut with a lot of bacteria? Anybody can tell me. Take a wash out. That may be the first thing that we could do, right?
Straight.
And there are many ways you can do that. Alrighty then. Those are the facts that we like to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. It's WTF, What the Fact, aired at 7:25 every weekday morning. So, word has emerged that we will be seeing a price increase Another one has been announced. Will take place shortly, I suspect, based on the developments. The CEO, I suspect, of the Jamaica Flour Mills has announced that flour price will go up. When you talk about flour price going up, it has a similar impact on the economy, I think, as, say, petrol, because when petrol prices increase, as they have in the recent past, almost every week a $3 something gone on the ultra low that I use, right? But it has that ripple effect right across the economy. And it's the same thing when it comes to flour, because now you're talking about bread, you're talking about bun, you're talking about, did I say bulla? Right? Biscuits and a whole lot of stuff actually go up once flour price increase. So it's not just like flour is going up and that's it. It has that ripple effect right across the stratum. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not looking forward to that at all. Coming off the back of a recently announced price increase in chicken meat that was announced, I think, last week. What the hell are we going to do in this place? Seriously. We're going to be forking out more dough for flour. If you get my drift.
Remember, also, right? You just mentioned chicken price.
Yeah.
Right? When you're doing your seasoning, flour is a part of doing.
Yeah.
So what is going on with the chicken price now?
Exactly.
You understand?
It's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. And we don't know. We're living in some really challenging times. And it's time for us to get into what we call our proverb of the morning. Proverb of the day is more like it. And I'm going to allow you to hear the recording, and then I'll give you the translation and the explanation. Here is our proverb of the day.
A fast make a Nancy there oh stop.
Boy, you hear what she said? Listen again, if you can. Can you?
A fast make a Nancy there oh stop.
You hear that? A fast. Fast, brother. And this is not F-A-S-T. It means fast, spelled F-A-S-S. Like him too darn inquisitive. Yeah, a fast make a Nancy their house stop. That is our proverb of the day. The translation, it's because a Nancy, or the spider, is inquisitive while he's living in the ceiling. Well, I see everything from that vantage point. And what does this proverb really mean? It's one thing to have fun with it, but there's also a meaning behind it. The meaning of this proverb is mind your own business, or you could find yourself in trouble or even isolated. A word to the wise is sufficient. That was our proverb of the day. All right, time now for us to go into our first interview segment. And we're going to be joined by the chairman of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JARIA, and he's also an attorney at law. We saw where he recently used words like unfortunate and divisive in describing suggestions by the government to have vaccinated events only. He said that would be an unfortunate and divisive option, especially since our industry is made up of vaccinated and unvaccinated practitioners, suppliers, and patrons, all of whom are and have been affected not just by the virus and its effect on their health and livelihoods, but all of whom, vaccinated or not, continue to be at risk of contracting or transmitting the virus. So he came out swinging in reaction to suggestions by the government about staging vaccinated events only. So Mr. Ewan Simpson, chairman of JARIA, is our guest at this time. Good morning, Mr. Simpson. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Richie. I'm great. How are you?
Not too bad at all. Always a pleasure to have you here on our program, Ewan. I see you came out in a strong way against suggestions that were made by the government in relation to going forward in the music and entertainment industry. Give us your views on this vax-only event that was proposed. Do you think obviously you think it's not a good idea?
Yes, well, let me say this, because I don't want to be guilty of the same thing that I am recommending against, which is divisiveness. I don't want to describe it as coming out swinging. What I want to do is to give a word of caution. One of the things that we need to appreciate is that Jamaica is united in a particular way, but also very diverse in other ways. And that has shown up in the very data that is presented in terms of how many Jamaicans have chosen the route of vaccination as their means of protection against the scourge of COVID-19 that we all are fighting.
Yes.
And I'm saying people have, and Jamaicans always have, chosen different modalities for their health care. And so I'm saying, if it is that there is a preferred one, and we always prefer to defer to the government and its wisdom, if there is that, then it is available and it should be available, and there should be systems in place to engage the public on that. But for a country where entertainment and cultural enterprise is pivotal, not just to economic activity, but to our sense of who we are as a people, to our sense of self, to pit that against people's choices for their own health care by saying, well, if you don't choose this modality for health care, then you can't participate in this kind of activity. It is ill-advised.
You think it is ill-advised?
Less than 75% of Jamaicans have chosen the route of vaccination. Now, whether that is good or bad is another conversation. Mm-hmm. Good, and I am not prepared to get into the merits of whether or not vaccination is the best route, because people are making choices for themselves. And we are saying that the majority of Jamaicans participate in some kind of cultural or creative industries enterprise at some point in time. And you realize that cultural and creative industries have been the hardest hit because, of course, there are issues of gathering and bringing people together and so on. But people gather together for other activities and are permitted to do so in a controlled way. Now, there are some people who will say, oh, entertainers or entertainment is what you just said, indisciplined. The reality is, it's the same Jamaicans who go to church, who go to entertainment events. It's the same Jamaicans who go to the supermarket, however small or however large those supermarket chains might be, and they gather in those spaces. The same Jamaicans who go to restaurants, and the same Jamaicans who go to hotels. It is local tourism that has been able to facilitate the resurgence of the tourism industry when international travel, was not at its healthiest. Mm-hmm. And the tourism industry found a way to put protocols in place to keep people safe, and it has worked.
The government is obviously on a mission to increase the number of vaccinated citizens in our country, and sometimes we kind of wonder whether or not this is seen as a way to somehow increase the numbers of those vaccinated among us.
That may well be one strategy, but we also need to remember Jamaica's history, Jamaica's historical position in terms of when we are of the impression that there is some kind of motive or agenda that is being imposed on us against our will. It is something which is, however good or bad it is. So I want to repeat that. However good or bad the objective is. My grandmother used to say, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Mm-hmm. Right? However good or bad it is, we need to be careful how we choose to impose things by force. It has been, it is one thing we can learn from other spaces globally, is that has not worked.
What have you given much deeper thought, though? And do you have any suggestions for how both the vax and the unvax can participate at events?
In the same way they participate in enjoying and I continue to use that example because it is closest, it is very related. In the same way they enjoy the hospitality industry. In the same way they go to beaches together. In the same way they are in the same hotels, sharing in the same restaurants, enjoying the same evening entertainment, in a space where they are social distance and they no longer do the touchy-feely, and people wear their masks unless they are at the bar and they are served in a particular way. One of the things that we need to use this opportunity to do is to reacclimatize our people in terms of the way they enjoy certain things. And Jamaicans are not averse to enjoying things in a different way. We are some of the most traveled people in the world. We are all over the place. And when we go to other spaces, depending on what is required of us, whether for simple compliance or safety or whatever else, we modify our activities and make it work. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying there is an opportunity. We have been saying for a long time, we need to have, it's not just the issue of sound levels now, but that is one. Sound levels. We need to change our culture in terms of how we enjoy sound and how we enjoy sound to the detriment of others who don't necessarily wish to participate in it at the same time. Mm-hmm. And there are technological advances that we should involve in that. There are planning considerations that need to be taken, that need to be put on the table to ensure. And this is now 2 years next month. We will be going 2 full years of this challenge, and nothing new has been placed on the table in respect of zoning entertainment in certain spaces. And when we zone it, then there are certain requirements that we would need to put in place for access, for movement of people around and in a venue, and all of those things. And people can, in fact, begin to enjoy their lives again in a public way, in a safe way, because they do it for other kinds of activities.
It has been a rough patch for the entertainment industry. I wonder whether or not, the industry can survive another year of all the challenges that it has faced. One of the things, though, that I'd like to highlight in the little time we have left with you this morning, Ewan, the Honour Awards that JARIA stages every year. What can you tell us about it? Is it on this year, and who are some of the honorees and so on?
The Honour Awards are on. The Honour Awards are on. They are not going to happen in the month of February, though. And I don't want to steal the Honour Awards Committee's thunder by saying to you, we're honouring X, Y, or Z, because we are going to have an awards launch in the month of February. So we're not leaving out our awardees for the month of February. We are having an awards launch on the last Sunday in the month of February, where we will tell you who our awardees are in the main, and we will also announce our Song of the Year nominees and our emerging artist nominee. So we're still planning to do that. Of course, we have to do it in a compliant way because we believe in leading by example and showing that there are ways that we can, in fact, continue to keep our industry alive while giving regard to the government's protocols and requirements. So we are doing that, and of course, we therefore are going to be very digital with it, as we were last year with our activities. So that is in fact the plan.
Did you say that the date has been set yet, or are you not prepared to say that this morning?
You mean of the awards?
Yes.
Themselves?
Yes.
It is sometime in April.
Okay.
It will be aired in April. It may have to be a pre-recorded event.
Okay.
But it certainly will be aired in April.
All right. Ewan, pleasure talking with you. Have a great day today. Thank you.
You too, Richie. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. That's a chat with attorney at law and chairman of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JARIA, Ewan Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, in this segment, we're going to be talking with the marketing director of the Bob Marley Group of Companies, who's here to tell us about the celebrations planned for the month of February as it relates to Honorable Robert Nesta Marley, OM. It's 9:03, and we welcome Julia Vaz to Up and Go. Good morning, Julia.
Morning, Richie. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Very good, thank you.
Wonderful to have you on the program, Julia. And Nice to know that you have such a wonderful product in your charge, and that is, of course, making sure that the world celebrates with us this great Jamaican Bob Marley. No doubt you have big plans for the 77th anniversary of his birth, don't you?
Yes, we do. Tough Gong and the Marley family, we are going to commemorate this birth of Bob Marley with Route 77.
Route 77. I want to hear more about that, Julia. Tell me.
Well, it's his 77th birthday, and we're looking towards 7-day series of 7 main events. And that's going to include a beach cleanup, a sound clash, music industry seminars, 2 art installments, a grassroots football clinic, and 2 big concerts.
Wow, that's a whole lot.
That's a mouthful.
Yes.
That is a mouthful, and those are just the main events.
So there are other things that are going on even whilst those are taking place.
There are a lot of things going on. And of course, we're inviting fans worldwide to join these festivities by tuning into the live stream of Bob Marley's 77th Earth Strong on the Tough Gong TV YouTube channel, February 6th from 12 noon to 7 p.m.
When will these celebrations commence, actually?
So the celebrations have already started. The first of the birthday celebrations, the Bob and Rita Marley Foundations organized a Back to Our Roots beach cleanup and concert. And that took place this past weekend. Not this one, last weekend before that. Okay. And that was at Jamnesia. The cleanup was from 7 miles to 8 miles in Bull Bay, St. Thomas. And it included performances at Jamnesia by Billy Mystic, Micah Shemaiah, Earth and the Fullness, From the Deep, Frog Boss, and Black Alliance. So I believe everybody remembers Billy Mystic.
Oh, yes.
And Micah Shemaiah is a very strong reggae performer. A lot of the artists on this show are up-and-coming performers.
Billy Mystic, of course, from the Mystic Revealers, gave us some really, really great music. So that cleanup went down well from your perspective, would you say?
Yes, it did. Certainly. We got the community together, and everyone was on the beach doing cleanup.
All right, for what's ahead of us now, how can the public participate and, in, for instance, the seminars and so on? Some of these will be virtual events, right?
Some of these will be virtual events. So for the seminars we're doing in partnership with the Ministry of Culture, JARIA, and these are a Zoom seminar that they will be able to join on Tough Gong TV. On Tuesday, February 1, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., and that would be To Structure or Not to Structure, Recipes for Success. Guests include Zachary Harding, Ron Young, Carlette DeLeon. We also have Brendan Sharp, and we have on Wednesday, February 2, the Reggae in the Digital Era, Monetizing Social Platforms, with guests Kibwe McGann, Jesse Serwell, Brian Greenspoon. And on Thursday, we have How Are Musicians Earning Money in a Pandemic, with guests Saeed Thomas, Eric Mendelson, Paul Kastic. So these are just about the music industry seminars.
I like the topics, and I know that with such guests that, as you have indicated, they are well equipped to share a lot of information through their experience in the industry. As far as the concerts are concerned now, what are the dates for the concerts, and who are some of the guests that are on it? Okay,
so with regards to the concerts, we will be streaming live on Sirius XM on, actually, today, Monday, 5 p.m. today. Okay. And but that is, of course, that is audio. To see the full concert, you would need to watch on February 6th on Tough Gong TV.
Okay.
Right. So performers of that would include, coming out of Tough Gong this evening, you have Etana, Tony Rebel, Queen Ifrica, Egyptian, Bugle, Black Amai, Amanye, and that concert is hosted by Tommy Cohen.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. And then additionally, we have performances coming from Minister Marion Hall,
Okay.
Sharon Marley, Skip Marley, Ewan Marley, Elijah Marley, and the main event of the concert will be a finale performed by the Marley brothers, Ziggy, Stephen, Kimani, Julian, and Damien.
This is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. If you just joined us, we're talking here with Julia Vaz, and Julia is the marketing director of the Bob Marley Group of Companies, and we're looking at how we'll all be able to celebrate Bob Marley's 77th birthday, Roots 77, and all the activities that are taking place over 7 days, right? You said, Julia?
Yes, over 7 days. So we're started now. We're full on into everything that's happening. As I said today, we have the Tough Gong concert. We have the seminars, which, February 1, February 2, February 3. On February 4, there's a Beats Breakdown workshop at Tough Gong. And February 5, we have a Football is Freedom clinic at St. George's College. And on February 6th, we have a very special exhibition opening at the Bob Marley Museum. We are opening Rita Marley, Mystic of a Queen. It will be a permanent installation at the museum. And there is a private viewing on February 6th. And on February 7th, it is open to the public.
And this all ties in really nicely with Reggae Month and, of course, Black History Month. So it's really a good look. From your perspective...
And let us not forget the 60th anniversary of Jamaica.
Ah, that's right, which comes up later on in the year. So there's a whole lot to celebrate.
Yes.
From your vantage point, Julia, the Marley name, would you say it is still strong and powerful and popular the world over?
Is that a question you'd have to ask? That's like asking if the sky is blue or if the grass is green.
I know it's a redundant question, but for the benefit of our listeners, I want you to tell me how strong and powerful it still is.
The Marley name is a name that has inspired millions around the world, and not just in music. We're looking on Bob as not just a musician, but also a humanitarian.
Yes.
And that leads me to speak to another exciting occurrence we have, which is the 7 Roots of Marley. We're doing some daily meditations that will explore the reggae legends' ideals and give insight into that lasting global impact that Marley has on spiritual, social, and cultural philosophies. Some of the things that we will take a look on includes identity, includes food, includes creativity, fitness, Rastafari, human rights, and music. So we're exploring different aspects as well of Marley and the impact he has had on the world.
Fantastic, fantastic. Such a powerful name. I have to ask you before you go, though, is there anything you can report on whether or not Bob Marley might be named a national hero?
Why does everyone ask that? He doesn't have to be named a national hero to be a national hero. He is a global hero.
Bigger than a national hero, a global hero. On that note, Julia, I thank you, and I wish you well, and we definitely will be catching up on these celebrations. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Richie.
Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
Dr. Andrew Wheatley is the chairman of the Joint Select Committee looking at proposals to establish Portmore as Jamaica's 15th parish. He's also Member of Parliament for Central St. Catherine, and he said recently that we're one step closer to becoming the 15th parish over there in Portmore. We're joined at this time by Dr. Andrew Wheatley, and we welcome him to Up and Go. Morning, Doc. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Richie. I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all, my brother, and good to have you on the program. Doc, are we really now much closer to seeing Portmore becoming the 15th parish in Jamaica?
Well, we are even further than and closer, Richie. I think we right now are on the cusp of a significant milestone in the history of Jamaica, independent Jamaica. We have gone through a very extensive process of dialogue, consultation over 14 months we have been at this matter of considering Portmore to become the 15th parish, and hopefully tomorrow we will complete the debate on the report that the subcommittee, the Joint Select Committee of Parliament, presented to Parliament sometime around last year, September, after extensive consultation. So we are in the middle of the debate, and we should close that debate tomorrow and have a final vote by the Parliament on accepting the report, which, of course, is the recommendation for Portmore to become Jamaica's 15th parish.
So you are expecting the debate to close tomorrow, and then beyond that, what happens next?
The simple process of actually promulgating a bill to designate Portmore as the 15th parish, and in that bill indicating as well the boundary of this new parish. If you recall the Act of 1867, well, we cannot recall it because it was before our time, but the Act of 1867 that established the 14 parishes that now exist, simply stated then that these area will be a part of the area will be a parish, and a part of the area within that parish as the capital city. In fact, Kingston is very unique in that it is its own parish, capital. So the capital of Kingston is Kingston, while we have the capital of St. Catherine being Spanish Town. I believe that Portmore will be similar to Kingston in that, based on the size of the area, that it would be only appropriate to consider the entire parish as its capital, like what is for Kingston.
Dr. Wheatley, I note that there are members of the opposition who seem to be against Portmore becoming a parish. But is it a correct bit of information that I've gleaned which suggests that this whole matter started, the discussions actually started from 2003, was it?
Well, in fact, it started before 2003.
Yes.
That process started with the former mayor of Portmore, the first mayor of Portmore, and he belonged to the People's National Party. He, along with other residents in Portmore, lobbied the then PNP government to establish Portmore first as a municipality as part of the process of gaining full autonomy. Previous to 2003, all the councillors in Portmore sat in the St. Catherine Parish Council, and they thought that their issues were not being given the priority that it deserved, being that Portmore did not fully relate to the rest of the parish. Just on the demography of the area, the fact that it is built out a particular way, and the issues that are more pertinent to an area like Portmore, doesn't really impact other sections of the parish. And with the majority of the council sitting in the council, coming from the greater St. Catherine, they would more or less prioritize issues related to their own area. And so the then government started the process of giving Portmore autonomy. And I was lucky to be one of the first councillors that sat in that new dispensation in 2003, where Portmore, the persons in Portmore, got an opportunity to elect directly the mayor for their jurisdiction. But as councillors, we still had to sit in the St. Catherine Parish Council. So we had to sit in a set of meetings managing the city municipality of Portmore, while at the same time we were obligated to sit in Spanish Town. So we would go to a general council meeting in Portmore Wednesday night, and Thursday morning we had to go to a general council meeting again of the St. Catherine Parish Council as a whole. And I can tell you this, we are first sworn in as parish councillors. So our true allegiance is to the St. Catherine Parish Council, how it is set up, because, again, only the mayor of Portmore really had, direct management of Portmore. So if a councillor did not satisfy his obligations of attending a certain amount of meetings in Spanish Town, then that person or that councillor could not get paid. So, we are at a point now where we believe that Portmore has matured over the years, and, it is time for it to get its full autonomy.
Well, and you seem very confident that it will go through, but there are many, as you're aware, who are arguing that this will be a waste of resources. How would you say Portmore will benefit by becoming a parish, Dr. Wheatley?
Okay, so Portmore being a parish will benefit from a number of things. One, it's lobbying as a parish. It will get its full recognition as a parish, and all the privileges that are associated with a parish Portmore will not benefit from. The question is always being asked in some quarters why Portmore should become a parish. But I will ask the same question in reverse order. Why not? Why not Portmore becoming a parish? A person spoke about infrastructure development. Yes, we agree with that. And those issues are being addressed as we speak. The matter of an hospital, yes, I agree. Even though that it is not a prerequisite for us to have these amenities, we recognize the importance of these amenities to the people of Portmore and in any jurisdiction. And so, again, the matter of an hospital was brought up. The Prime Minister made that commitment late last year. In fact, it was already in train for an hospital to be built in St. Catherine on a whole, but they did not at that time decided on the actual location. Persons were talking about in the Olawa area, seeing that area is being built out. But based on where we are now, it looks like that hospital that was being planned for will be built in Portmore to service the people of Portmore. And I believe by it becoming a parish as well, that you should see a significant improvement in service delivery, both at the local level and at central government level. So some of the things that persons living in Portmore to go to, say, St. Catherine or Spanish Town to get done will now be in Portmore, so closer to home. And so, I know for a fact that the government must act to ensure that this parish of Portmore can stand on its own. Again, the traffic congestion is a matter. Whether it's a parish or not, we need to improve traffic flow within Portmore and into and out of Portmore. And we are seeing proposals. In fact, money is being put together now to build a better access and improve access from the Caymanas area, the Mandela Highway, into Portmore. And this not only will support existing Portmore, but the additional housing solutions that will be built in the Bernal Lodge area, which, more than likely will fall within the Portmore parish.
Okay.
Looking at the bigger picture, will be supported as well.
The subject of a market.
Of course, we have one market, not a large market. Actually, Walk is a market, is designated as a market, but again, appropriate location or locations. I don't think Portmore, based on the number of persons living in Portmore, that Walk is sufficient. I believe that we need to identify land for us to build out a proper market in Portmore.
Somebody just messaged me and said if I could just ask you to revisit the point of the capital. What is likely to be designated the capital? Can you just repeat?
Well, my opinion is that I think the Portmore Parish will resemble Kingston Parish in that the capital of Portmore will be Portmore, as we have it now, that the capital of Kingston is Kingston.
Okay.
That is my opinion. It is not law. It's what I believe that based on the size and every community will want to be the capital. And to reduce that level of antagonism, I believe that it would best follow the model that now exists for Kingston.
Yes. Do you expect a fiery debate tomorrow?
No, I believe that Member Jackson, who is the lead representative on this matter from the opposition, he made a very good, relatively good presentation. But I do not believe that the arguments were strong enough to sway the majority. This is a very democratic process and a consultative process. We have moved away from what existed in 1867, where the House of Assembly just designated an area as a parish. We have gone through the process of consultation both at the level of the government entities as well as through 2 town hall meetings with the citizens of Portmore. We advertise and re-advertise, inviting comments from the citizens of Portmore and persons in the Greater Jamaica and the diaspora. We have gotten quite a bit of responses
Feedback
and suggestions, and the consensus, based on what is also presented in the report, is that Portmore should become Jamaica's 15th parish. And I believe it is timely. It was only, when I was preparing for the debate that I realized and remembered that, we are celebrating our 60th anniversary as an independent nation, our Golden Jubilee, and it will be the first time since being an independent country that, we are designating an area as a parish. And so that's a historical and significant achievement for us as a people. Back then the population of Jamaica was somewhere under 100,000 in 1867. Portmore, as it is right now, just that year, Portmore is over 200,000 people living within Portmore. The last census in 2011, I believe it was,
yes,
said there are some like 182,000 people. That's over 10 years ago living in Portmore. NEPA in its presentation indicated that it is expected that Portmore will grow by some 2% annually over the next 10 years or so. Apart from the political implications of designating an area as a parish, I believe that Portmore is poised for greatness beyond just parish status. We can use the opportunity to establish Portmore as the first smart city in Latin America and the Caribbean. We have seen a significant improvement in terms of investment in BPOs, but we need to go beyond that. I believe that Portmore has that inherent capacity from a technological perspective to be more than just a dormitory community. I believe that we need to create value-added services as relates to the BPO sector, but more we need to stimulate, put in place the infrastructure, the technological infrastructure to support ICT and innovation. I know for a fact that a lot of young people leaving universities, high schools within Portmore can contribute to the economy and create employment opportunities for themselves as well. And that is where we want to go with the whole thing of Portmore. Not just a parish, but a smart parish.
Okay. Dr. Wheatley, do you have sufficient numbers on your side, or will you need votes from the other side to make this go forward?
I believe we have more than enough votes on my side. But it's not about citing per se. I want to move it away from that. I want us to look at it from a holistic perspective as an opportunity for us to create a parish that can become the model parish not only for Jamaica but the region.
Yes.
How we interact with the local government arm of government in terms of the relationship between citizens and the new council or corporation that will be in place. We need to move everything into the digital age, preparing Jamaica for what is ahead of us. As a matter of fact, what is upon us, because the pandemic has forced us to have to fast track a lot of things. Persons are now working from home.
Yeah.
You have more technology being applied to service delivery. Prior to this pandemic, a lot of persons could not imagine, being at home for so long and working from home, and even learning from home. Yeah. And so this pandemic has
taught us a whole lot. I have one final question to ask you on a slightly different matter. Ahead of a cabinet reshuffle recently, I don't know if you're aware, Dr. Wheatley, that there were some who were calling for you to be, shall we say, recalled. Did you even think that it might have happened for 1 minute?
To be quite honest with you, I have been more concentrating on the improving the lives of my constituents over the last 2 to 3 years more than anything else. And so that is my priority at the moment. I was given this responsibility to oversee the process of establishing Portmore as the 15th parish. I need to complete that. I am at that point where I believe that we have done some good work. and hopefully come tomorrow we will get the vote necessary to pass that resolution of establishing.
So that is the focus. Do you see yourself being a part of the legislature anytime in the future, though?
I leave everything to God in terms of what He has planned for me. Okay. And I think, having comfort in that is more than enough for me. All right.
Dr. Wheatley, always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Have a good day and best wishes.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Take care. Dr. Andrew Wheatley there, ladies and gentlemen, member of the Jamaica Labour Party. He's also, as we mentioned earlier, the chairman of the Joint Select Committee considering proposals for the establishment of Portmore as the 15th parish in Jamaica. Sorry, I just had to get those two questions in, if you know what I mean. DJ Audley, my listeners are really onto this this kerfuffle between all these females.
Oh my God!
I didn't even know that Tanya Stevens apparently had responded to Spice in terms of the accusations that Spice was making in relation to Lady Saw maybe trying to influence her back in the day in a negative way against Tanya.
Really?
So one of my listeners just sent me a note that says, I love how Tanya Stevens handled Spice, because what Spice was trying to do was build an army to go after Saw. The person says she is disingenuous at best. Why didn't she apologize to Tanya all these years, but now it's convenient? So the person writes, Tanya shut it down and told her to let it go because she, Tanya, has no time for it. And the listener puts hashtag maturity. So reactions are coming in.
Wow. Well, Richie, based on the situation right now, whatever it is, we need a solution.
Yeah. Who is it that will be able to pull that army together?
Yeah.
Who are fighting literally?
Yeah, because when you really look at it, all these ladies, if you really know them, they can go at it, Tanya, a Spice, a Marian,
Maka. Let us see what happens. We pray for peace.
Yep.
Yeah. As we get ready for our global connection, we pray for peace amongst our ladies. And now I suspect that DJ Roy is ready for us. Good morning, DJ Roy.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Not too bad at all. How about you?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I didn't do any shoveling, even though we got a couple of inches of snow. I got to big up my next door neighbors.
Yes.
I got to big them up.
They took care of that for you?
Oh, my gosh. They came across the street with their snow blower, and I was going to send them in the backyard, too.
You started enjoying their help that much.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, MG. But so I saw postings and pictures of the big celebration with Mama.
Oh, Mom. Oh, that's my foreign mommy.
Okay.
And everybody fondly calls her Mama Alma, one of the biggest promoters here in New York City, kept some of the biggest parties back in the days. So everybody from me, Jabba, matter of fact, the whole of New York City call her Mama Alma, and she has dubbed me her surrogate son.
Well, let me tell you, I got wind of it, and I also put some good greetings out there for Mama Alma, to be honest with you.
Thank you. One of the biggest promoters, and bar none, male or female, in New York City. As a matter of fact, years ago, she kept a big boat ride on, what's that big ship, that boat that goes over to Staten Island? Can't remember, but it's the biggest boat that we have in New York that you can do a boat ride on. Some, like, 3,500 people. She had Marshall, Montana, Stone Love Road International, Massive B, Afrique Sound Station. I never forget that boat ride, an amazing boat ride. Years ago. Oh, it's Staten Island Ferry. Yeah, the Staten Island Ferry. Yeah. So
cool.
And also we got to say happy birthday to Oxtail.
Yeah. It seems I see everybody dressed in white. It was some kind of an all-white affair or something? Or just coincidental?
It was actually an all-white affair. All-white affair.
Yeah.
So big respect to her. And she's actually 75 years old.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
Mama Alma, you don't look a day
great.
older than, say, 45.
Looking
and
great.
I looked at that with my glasses on. Yeah, big up on this here next for me, man, and enough love to her.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was quite, in fact, it was a lot of work outside of what we do here. You know, we have a few of the things that we do.
Yes.
And some people saw it fit to pull me out even on Sunday because there are some items that are in demand that are scarce. And when we get a call saying, can you open up just to accept a delivery even on Sunday? I said, yeah. I'm on my way. So it was a working weekend, and nonetheless a good one, all in all.
Terrific. That's why the business does well when the owners are willing to get out and stay up late and do overtime and knowing that they're not getting paid.
and then a popular club not too far from where we're located calls us up and say, hey, by the way, are you open? I have a list. So I said, send it on.
Send it on.
It was kind of worth a while, you know what I mean?
I hear that. Great.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.